tragedy has struck the heart of country music. Brett James, the Grammy-winning songwriter behind timeless hits like Jesus Take the Wheel and When the Sun Goes Down, has died in a devastating plane crash. But what's haunting fans even more are his final Instagram posts, snapshots of love, family, and joy that now read like bittersweet goodbyes. Before we dive into this emotional story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more powerful and heart-touching stories here on Celeb Wood. Brett James wasn't just a songwriter, he was the voice behind the voices we all love. For Carrie Underwood, he gave us Jesus Take the Wheel. For Kenny Chesney, he gave us When the Sun Goes Down. For Tim McGraw, Drugs or Jesus. His pen painted emotions into melodies, and his songs climbed charts while touching millions of lives. In 2007, he won a Grammy for Best Country Song, cementing his place among the greatest. But away from the spotlight, Brett James was a family man, someone who cherished moments at home, birthdays, and beach getaways with the people he loved most. His Instagram was less about fame and more about family, and those very posts are now sending chills through fans worldwide. On Thursday, September 18th, Brett James, his wife Melody Carroll Wilson, and her daughter, 28-year-old Merrill Maxwell Wilson, were killed when their private plane crashed in Franklin, North Carolina. Just hours before, the plane had departed from Nashville's John C. Tune Airport. It never made it to its destination. The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed there were no survivors. The crash came just days after Merrill celebrated her 28th birthday, a milestone her mother Melody had marked online with a heartfelt tribute. Melody's words now read like a mother's final love letter. "You're the most beautiful, amazing human inside and out. God has already used you for his kingdom in so many ways, and so much more to come." No one could have predicted how those words would echo so tragically. On Thursday, September 18th, Brett James, his wife Melody Carroll Wilson, and her daughter, 28-year-old Merrill Maxwell Wilson, were killed when their private plane crashed in Franklin, North Carolina. Just hours before, the plane had departed from Nashville's John C. Tune Airport. It never made it to its destination. The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed there were no survivors. What makes this story even more emotional are Brett James's own final Instagram posts. On Father's Day, just a few months ago, Brett shared a photo of himself surrounded by family on a deck, captioned, "Such an amazing Father's Day." Days before that, he had posted a selfie with Melody on a beach in the Bahamas, writing, "So much fun with my love." Now these snapshots, once simple happy memories, have transformed into haunting reminders of a life cut short. Fans are flooding those posts with comments of heartbreak, prayers, and disbelief. The news shook Nashville. Dierks Bentley wrote, "Our friendship and that song changed my life." Jason Aldean shared, "Honored to have met him and worked with him." Tim McGraw poured his heart out in a lengthy tribute. "So heartbroken to hear about Brett James. He was one of the most talented and respected songwriters in Nashville. Our family's hearts go out to his family and friends." Even ASCAP, the American Society of Composers, mourned deeply, calling Brett a trusted collaborator and a true advocate for his fellow songwriters. Behind the fame, Brett James lived a quieter personal life. He shared children with his ex-wife, Sandra Cornelius Little, and while he never made headlines for scandals, his legacy was always about lifting others up through music. He wasn't just penning hits. He was giving artists the songs that defined their careers. It's also worth noting that Brett owned the plane himself. For someone who lived life on the road and in the sky, traveling often for songwriting sessions and music events, aviation was part of his routine. But tragically this time, it became the end of his story. Music insiders are calling his death an irreplaceable loss. Industry voices are comparing it to the loss of legends like John Denver, who also died in a plane crash. One Nashville producer told local outlets, "Brett wasn't just writing songs, he was writing the soundtrack to people's lives." For country music, Brett's passing leaves a hole that can't be filled. His songs live on through Carrie Underwood, Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean, and countless others. But for his family, the loss is deeply personal. A father, a husband, a friend. His children, who survive him, must now navigate life without the man who once sang them lullabies and guided them with love. This tragedy brings back memories of other music stars lost too soon in plane crashes. Patsy Cline, Lynyrd Skynyrd, John Denver. Like them, Brett James leaves behind not just music, but stories, memories, and a legacy that will be cherished forever. Brett James's final Instagram posts show us something heartbreaking but beautiful. That he lived with love, family, and gratitude until the very end. His music will continue to comfort and inspire, but his absence will be felt across Nashville and beyond. What do you think? Will Brett James be remembered most for his chart-topping hits, or for the love and family moments he shared off stage? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe to Celebwood for more emotional and unforgettable celebrity stories.